Here we're redoing all of Jonathan's work that he did.
Yeah, we're gonna have to change his D-loop. I mean, his peep sight.
How he got the bow to shoot with the cams upside down is amazing. Like really, really impressive stuff here.
What's going on, guys? Back at Wild Arrow, we've got all the new bows. You've seen the 3 bows that really stuck out to me this year, and then we're gonna take this one down to Texas here on Sunday, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So right after Thanksgiving, I'm burning the last brownie points that I have with my wife, so I can go down to Texas. But we're going to build this ARC 30 out here. I'm already throwing a couple things on here, but we're going to put some new strings, get a peep sight, get the R7 Hamskea on here and everything. And I've got the best in the business right here with Jeremiah. You guys, even if you're not local, fly in. It's worth it.
Yeah, we get a lot of guys that fly in, drive in from ways away. So thank you for everybody that is doing that. But we love to take care of you and get you set up some awesome new bows. So
sweet. Well, let's get strings first.
Strings first.
Cables.
Yep, we'll get that.
So we've got the gas, high octane. We're going to do orange. I think the orange is going to look good here with the, and I know I say orange weird. Everyone says that. Yeah. I'm from North Carolina, guys. Chill out.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, but orange on the Kodiak. This Kodiak actually, they did a good job with this color.
Yeah, I was really nervous when they mentioned what the color was going to be, but so far, guys are absolutely loving it.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So we're going to throw these on. Thanks to Gas for sending these out, and you guys sell gas strings, so 100% recommend. If you're getting a new bow, slap some new strings on. You've got your backup strings as the stock strings, so if something does happen, you're not waiting 2 weeks. You're not out your hunt. You can swap them out at the bow shop if they're willing to help you.
we do favors.
There you go.
Perfect.
So we're going to swap these out now. I guess what's been your take on the ARC so far?
Man,
you like the Lift X.
I like the Lift X, but I would say when they went to that beyond parallel limb system, the bow just didn't aim as good on target. I felt like I had some misses with it that I wouldn't normally get. So so far with the ARC, I think you go watch a lot of the videos and content out there, especially from MATHEWS directly. Changing to a different limb pocket angle and the different limb angle, it does affect how a bow holds and aims on target. So so far, I think they made a huge improvement over the lift system. So, they kept the tuning system, which we love. The performance on the bows this year have been great. And then one of the biggest things for feedback, too, is just how much smoother the draw cycle feels, which I think was a huge improvement. You're changing maybe the cam's starting position there. Even though we're running the same SWX mods, a lot of guys just feel like it draws smoother. But for guys that are looking for even a smoother draw, they do have, smooth draw mod options now this year for guys. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that, maybe weren't MATHEWS guys last year. They've come in and shot this bow, and it's changing a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I shot the 3 that I really liked. The Hoyt is always awesome. It's got a great cycle. They've got an awesome tuning system this year. I've shot Hoyt for the last couple years. And love them. They're great bows. Yeah. But I'm choosing 2 out of those top 3 that I'm going to build. So we've got another one coming as well. But this one's the one that I want to take down to Texas, and might even become an elk bow. You throw 80 pounds on that, and it's screaming out of there. So we'll see how it holds out at distance. But 20 yards, it holds steady.
Yeah, I think to that point, I'm seeing a lot more Western hunters go to these shorter axle bows now, and a couple of things have changed. Back in the day, anything under 33, guys really, shied away from. They were kind of scared to shoot them. But 2 things that's really happened, guys, with these bows is, one, the riser is as long as it's ever been, and that gives you a lot more stability, hold on target. But the biggest thing for me, especially at my draw length at 30, the string angle. Yeah. So if you look at a lot of these new cams, you look at the distance from the string track to the axle here versus string track to axle here. So these bows, even though they're putting them at a 30-inch bow, the effective string angle on these are much more comfortable, the longer riser. So I'm seeing a lot more Western guys switch to shorter bows nowadays. It used to be 70-30 for us, 70% long bows, 30% short. And last year was almost 50-50 for us, what we've seen. So especially, for me, even at a 30-inch draw, I feel like I shoot these short bows really well the distance. But the shorter the draw length you get, it's easier to get away with these bows now. So for you, 28-inch draw, this bow is probably used to be what it would feel like shooting an old bow that was 34 inches axe to axle back in the day. So
I call them the baby head cams.
Yeah, they're giant.
I think they've got the biggest cams out there.
Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah.
You know, with strings and cables, guys, we get guys ask us this a lot. You know, factory strings and cables, even though Matthews redesigned it and has these match bowstrings, they are getting better. I give most factory strings probably a 5.5 out of 10 rating. Like they're average, maybe slightly above average. And for guys that just want to run them for a season, sometimes you get lucky and get 2 out of them, great. But what happens, guys, is strings and cables are the backbone of a bow. You know, when we put this bow together and we set, like, you know, make sure the axle and the brace, your cam timing marks, your cam sync, poundage, all those factors are all determined by strings and cables. So we are seeing more and more guys that kind of doing what you're doing. They'll come in, get a bow. They want custom colors, which we totally get. It's going to look sharp on there, but put your aftermarket strings on there. They're going to hold tunes better. They're going to hold all that stuff all of our work that we do should hold better tune with an aftermarket string. But if you're out in the field, you damage your string, cut it with a broadhead, you're not out of the game. You have a factory set ready to rock and roll. So not only the cosmetic side of it, but you know, there's some other value there of adding some aftermarket string, especially from a good company like Gas.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Cool.
Sweet.
Well, we'll throw this in the press and we'll get it going. Strings are on. We're a little bit off on our cam timing marks, which is fine. I think what we're going to do, though, is we're going to take this bow, we're going to put a temporary loop on it. We'll put it in the drawboard. We're going to let those strings and cables kind of settle. So, you know, when guys are getting strings like this, especially if they're bright colors, the more wax and dye you add into the fiber, they get a little bit bigger. And so it's going to take some time for the actual serving, even over your hubs here, all that stuff to kind of work in. So we'll throw a temporary loop, throw it in the drawboard, let it sit there and kind of get those strings and cables to kind of settle and get fit into the cam tracks. And then after that, we'll throw on your rest and do some tuning.
So here you're looking these 2 points right here.
Correct. Yeah. So what Matthews did this year, you know, guys get this referenced wrong all the time. I see a lot of videos where guys are referencing this wrong, but there's a timing position here, and it doesn't have to be exact. So let's say you get a bow at 28, and you know, if you measure true ammo draw length, maybe the bow feels just a little bit short for some reason. Well, what I can do is press the bow and twist these cables, and it's going to increase your poundage slightly and advance the cam. And so right now you can look, your cam timing marks off. I don't know if the camera can pick that up there.
Close up of it.
You know, it's one of those things where a timing position's a good starting point, but there is some manipulation you can do to a bow. For guys that want to play around with like maybe 1/8 or 1/4 inch draw lengths on their Matthews, don't be worried if your cam timing marks are off. But what's still really important is what we call cam synchronization, right? So you guys kind of reference these, kind of get them mixed up, but I can change the timing position of the cam right here, where I advance the cam or slow the cam down, and that can affect my draw length and poundage a little bit, whether you're twisting into your cables or maybe putting a little bit of twist in your bowstring. But what's always super important with these bows is really cam synchronization. Some guys do like to advance their top cam, where the top cam will hit slightly faster. I don't like that feel, but that's kind of a preference. So yeah, if we're changing the timing position of the cam, we're going to manipulate draw lengths, some factors that way. But regardless, once we got the timing position where we want, we're going to verify that both cams are rolling together, and that's our synchronization. So cool. Yeah, so we'll double check all those. But I do want to get these cables and strings. You can feel how tight the serving is, which I like. If you notice when we pulled out of the package, it's really hard to even feel like it was straight into the bowstring, right? I like that in a bowstring. That means good, tight serving. So I think once they're built that tight, if you get a bowstring out of the package and it has a lot, it's really soft or it moves really easy, I just don't think that the serving's holding, biting, everything was tight. So nice stiff string, let it work into the cam track, and it should be a solid set for you.
Sweet.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can, you know, obviously I'm more concerned with just letting them stretch and settle in more than anything right now, but our top mod, the foot, is actually contacting the cable, and we have a good, at least an 1/8 inch gap on bottom, right there. Good contact, and then on the bottom one there's a pretty large gap. So, you know, when you go pull these strings out of the package, sometimes you lose a little bit of twist rate on them here and there. When these bows transfer load, you know, from static to full draw, the amount of tension there in these cables, you feel these, it's like super, super tight here. But the string, now that we're running 80% let off at 70 pounds. So mathematically, you should be holding roughly 14 pounds back at the wall. The higher the let off you go, though, you're actually reducing string tension. So, you know, I show this to guys all the time that are fighting face pressure with their anchor, especially for guys like you with beards that usually push too hard on the string because you can't feel it. You can see how easy it is for me to manipulate the bowstring. So there's less tension here and a lot of tension here. So for guys that are getting to full draw, if you're fighting that face pressure, I can twist this bowstring. You can see how much movement it has. So typically, like a pro archer, the reason a lot of those guys are running, say, 70% let off or a lot more hold weight is there's more tension on the bowstring. So if they're at a tournament, they get nervous, they have a little bit of face pressure with the bowstring, it's not going to affect their downrange point of impact. A lot of these new modern hunting bows, guys like the 85%, so you obviously like a little bit more hold weight than the average guy, but even some of these bows that are up to 90% let off now, the more let off you get in a bow, the less tension you have on the bowstring at full draw. So face pressure has a bigger factor there. So just something kind of cool to show guys, bow and a draw board. It's a good way to check cam sync, you know, measure some stuff on the bow. But for right now, the most important thing is just getting those strings and cables to kind of settle in and work into the bow itself. So we took a mod. See, that's a pretty good fit. See how there's a lot of room in that track for that serving? But a lot of times I've seen strings come in here where the diameter of the serving, when the engineers are designing these bows, they're taking into account the outside diameter between the strand count and the type of material and even serving diameter. And if these get too big, as you go to draw through these mods, they're not perfectly square. They're kind of oval, and it forces itself down into that track. And then over time, instead of a nice round serving, you look at your cables, they have a kind of an oval shape to them. And so that's what has a lot to do with how good, when you get a good quality string, that this, you know, diameter of the cam track here, even these AVS systems, you know how when we first went to put these on, we had a really hard time getting them to stick in there, right? Because they narrowed that track this year. Well, now if you look at it, after we've had it at tension and load, of how tight that they're sitting down in that bearing there. So so from there, we're off a little bit on our cam sync, right? But we can look at this bow statically and look at our cam timing marks. So we're really close on the bottom here. I can start to see this string pop through here on the 30, but look at this one. See how much more advanced this one is? See how more centered it is? So you can kind of reference your cam timing position, and it should correlate pretty dang close to your cam synchronization, even though they are separate. And so with this bow, if we check the poundage, this is where we get really technical and go, okay, we know we're out on bottom, which means that this cable is tighter, which is showing us in our cam timing position. So we have two options at this point. If we twist the top one, We're going to also, you know, increase the poundage, change the timing position, which is also going to increase the draw length slightly. So at that point, it's like you can make a decision, where's the bow feel? If the bow feels a little long, well, I'd rather take some twist out of a cable and get the bow to slightly shorter draw length. If the bow feels a little short, I'd rather twist this cable and make the bow go slightly longer. And so this is when you're kind of fine-tuning these kind of things, kind of a personal preference. You know, obviously a lot of guys kind of freak out about the cam timing position being off slightly. It's not a big deal. There's bows for years that at 30 I feel too short, 30 and a half I feel too long. So a lot of times I'd put the bow to 30 and I'd slowly start twisting my cables till the draw length felt right. But if I went to reference my cam timing position, it's not going to be close at all. So we'll check it on the scale here. One, I want to kind of see what poundage we're hitting for you. We have a 70 pound, 28 inch, 80% let off mods in here. So we'll go look at it on the scale and then make a decision from there. So we're really advanced on that. It's hitting way sooner than the bottom here. And we're hot, so we're 76 pounds according to our scale.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah. So, and with scales, guys, look, there's really not very many good ones out there. You know, we're running these last chance. I bought 3 of these last year, all 3 red different. So luckily for us, we work close to Hoyt. We got some friends that work out at the factory. They're kind enough to stop by every couple months, check it at the factory scale, and then check ours. And we're usually within a pound, pound and a half most of the time. So still not perfect. But for guys that are using your own scale at home, you know, if you go and get it checked at your bow shop and checked at your scale, I've seen some of these scales read 5 pounds difference before, guys. So, you know, there is a way to calibrate these. But I don't want to take the time to do it. So if you have your own scale, go calibrate it because they can read quite a bit different.
Drink one of these to pull this baby back.
76, whatever. That's light work for you.
I know. All right, so I'm going to throw on the Hamskea R7. And as I'm screwing up, I'm going to have Cody check me. So I don't blow a bow up here.
But I'm here for moral support.
Yes, there we go. So the cool thing, guys, about the new R7, and you guys have seen my video on it, but it actually integrates to the back of the riser now. So we're just going to mount this straight to the back here on that dovetail, and then there's actually an indicator line on the Matthews. Now, let's see here. There we go.
Glad you know what you're doing, because I don't.
I pretend. Fake it till you make it. So yeah, there's an indicator line on Matthews where you line up your rest at. Make sure I've got this good to go here. Okay, crank that down. So that's not going anywhere. All right. Now in your little Hamskea case, you get a pad that you can throw up underneath the bottom of your limbs.
Dude, those orange strings look freaking sick on that.
The power stroke, getting power stroke.
Look,
Blake, tell us what this power stroke.
It's a made-up terminology that we have. It's just essentially just making sure your Hamskea's dropping where it's supposed to.
Okay.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Okay, so I lifted it up and I marked it. I already lifted it up.
We're way too high here. We're not even close to the center of burger. So
Wait,
this,
whoa.
what?
I didn't put that rest on.
I put that rest on.
Oh, you... John,
So,
You're banned from touching your own stuff.
So here we're redoing all of Jonathan's work that he did.
Yeah, we're gonna have to change his D-loop. I mean, his peep
How
sight.
he got the bow to shoot with the cams upside down is amazing. Like really, really impressive stuff here. Yeah, I know.
I've got 2 top cams on
Yeah.
it.
He's running an 80-pound mod on bottom and a 70-pound mod on top, and somehow he got it to shoot. It's very impressive.
Math says that splits the difference.
Yeah,
It's
I wanted
75.
75.
That's why we were pulling 76. It worked.
There you go.
That's how talented he
This
is.
is pulling 76 pounds.
When
It
we first
was,
checked
yeah.
it. I have
Shoot,
to,
it's
haven't checked
cool.
it since
Yeah,
we-
right before it derailed. Okay.
Yeah.
Now he's not really going through the burger hole. He's kind of below it now.
I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
Yes, and here's why.
Okay, tell me why.
99% of the time when your serving moves, which direction is it going?
What?
When your serving moves, your D-loop moves, where's it going?
Oh, it's gonna move up.
Exactly. Every time, right?
Yeah, every time.
So I don't mind starting a bow slightly below that center burger. So what was on my face?
It was a piece of.
I'm talking here.
Sorry.
He's gonna lick his thumb and try to wipe
Okay.
stuff off your face.
So if you start here, we get a good tune, we got clearance, all that stuff, right? Let's say this moves up a 16th. We can just micro adjust the rest, and now we're truly centered on that burger hole.
Oh.
Here's what happens. Let's say we set a perfect burger hole now, and then a guy comes running in the door in July, and he goes, hey, my center serving's moved up.
We're so close. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. That's not supposed to. Silver Sharpie? Anybody? Okay. It's not even.
Oh, I was gonna say it must be hitting that.
It's not even. No, it's not even tied down. Just let it down all the way.
Oh.
It's not
I
gonna.
was trying to figure out if you're measuring the power stroke or not.
Yeah, we'll do that in a
I
second.
was like, what are you doing? Jonathan's bow's falling apart.
'Kay.
Arrow's falling apart.
So, how to figure out where your Hamskea should be is you measure. You mark where it sits static like this, and where it sits at full draw. And then you'll take a tape measure and you'll measure the distance between this, and you'll divide by 2 to find exactly where half is. And you typically want, if your bow's a lot faster like this one is, you probably wanted to drop around that 50% or 75%. Anywhere in between that should be pretty good. If you're getting fletching contact, then you're definitely going to want to lean more towards 50% of when it falls down. So let me grab a tape measure. We'll go like this. All right, 20 and a half. So 10 and a quarter. So now we have a third mark. That's where 50% is. 75% is probably somewhere around here, but we want it to drop from anywhere from this general direction. So that's how you kind of figure it out. So we'll take Jonathan's bow. We'll get his rest back down. Tying it back down. The other thing that a lot of people don't know on these is if you have your cord tight, it's going to mess with timing. If you have your cord loose, it's going to mess with timing. So when you release your Hamskea cord, you want to try to have the same tension every time so your timing on your rest doesn't change. Just a little heads up. If you have a tighter, it's going to come up sooner. If you have a looser, it's going to come up later. Okay, now you could do this in a draw board, or you could just draw back, just kind of look at it. Jonathan is coming up right at the 50%, so that's pretty solid. And what I mean when it's coming up all the way. So when it locked right there, he's right at 50%. So that's a perfect starting point. And if you really want to get technical, you can mess with the timing by moving it closer to the axle and farther away from the axle. If you move it closer to the axle, you have more bend in the limbs and it's going to come up sooner. If you want to slow it down, you got to go more towards your limb pocket. So faster, slower. So that's kind of how you time your Hamskea, or it's a good starting point.
All right, guys, we're back in the shop. Blake helped me out. Jeremiah's been helping me out, still trying to figure out how to do this right. But we got the sight leveled first and second axis. The good thing about this new Pruf, well, it's not new this year, but it's been out for a year, is that you got the first axis adjustments here that are real simple. They're two little screws that go back and forth with pressure. And then you've got the second axis adjustment right here as well. So you crack this bolt underneath, and then you're able to go back and forth, pivoting the head with these little tiny screws right here. So that is, there we go. And then of course we're going to pop off this grip because I don't like grips on the Matthews. You take the alcohol wipe and rub that down, make sure it's clean so the adhesive will stick. And then we're going to put the side plates on.
Honestly, my last year boat, I didn't even paper tune it until I had 300.
And always make sure you use the alcohol wipe to clean, because you don't want any grease or anything like that to make your grip rub off. Or the R7.
Right now you're in the extra hard position.
What do you like about it?
Angles away from the axle.
Well, I've always liked Hamskea, but it always stuck out a little too far here to do all the Matthews stuff or any of the integrate stuff, even with Hoyt. And so I like that it integrates now. It's got the beefiness of Hamskea, but it's got the integrate features and just a couple little, I mean, this micro tuning, which Jay always says, you know, make sure you definitely pay for micro tuning, right? It's something it is something that you definitely want. Comes with this little pad here now, kind of built in. It's a woven, I don't know what material that is, but this little clamp on the side, I don't know if you've had a Hamskea before, but they upgraded this. It's just holds the cord a lot better. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you're in the market for a new rest, this is definitely my favorite one. But really the main difference between the Epsilon and this one is the woven here. And I mean, they've changed some of the knobs here and here for the micro tuning, but Epsilon has micro tuning. And then what I really like is that they've put, I don't think the Epsilon has a big U and R on it like this, but it allows you to know if you're going up or down, right? Instead of just watching the side.
So I was going to call that out. That's the one. For me, that might be worth upgrading.
Yeah.
When I start micro tuning.
So the Epsilon doesn't have it, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, is that going up or down?
Exactly. And then you have to watch it. Then you have to remember where you were. And speaking of remembering where you were, always Sharpie your stuff. Because I went out and shot my bow that I haven't shot since September when I was riding around with it in a four-wheeler. And I just thought it was, locked down. At 25 yards, I was 8 inches to the right. I'm like,
Was it sight or rest?
My sight.
Okay.
Yeah. The windage knob, I think, got banged enough times in the four-wheeler that it worked loose to the left. For the giveaway that we're doing, they're sending out essentially a gift card to go and customize your own dialed Pruf sight. Hamskea's sending out, because they didn't have any more, they discontinued the Epsilon, so Hamskea's sending out an R7 for that was it the AX2 out there, the AX232 that we're giving away. All right, so we've got the bow pretty much set up here. I'm just gonna go shoot it through paper one more time and then go back and get my 20 pin, and then I think we will call it an evening because it's been quite the day. So let's see what we got over here. First shot, I guess. Okay. I think everyone in the shop has touched my bow today. So I appreciate every single one of you guys.
It's been wild.
It's been a crazy day.
It's been a crazy day.
But
been a good day.
Yeah.
A crazy day.
Appreciate
Ta-da!
it. Thanks, Mark.
Ta-da! There's a bow.
Yeah, Mark wouldn't touch the bow until the soft knots because he doesn't like math. Okay.
This bow's
It's pretty sweet.
gotta
So
really get on this bow.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna set this
excited.
bow up and go shoot it.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Just wanting to go on you.
Making little adjustments. I walked that thing right in.
Yep.
It was cool. I would adjust. I would do my top cam first. From here, like
Little to
making
the left.
adjustments. Yeah, do it on your top cam.
Okay.
Feels good. Feels really good.
Let's see what it's. Yeah, I know. It doesn't stack. It's like I haven't liked Matthew's draw cycles for the last couple of years, and this one kind of shocked me.
Alrighty. Let me try that.
Feels good.
Yeah, it does.
Feels dang good.
Let's see what it's pulling now.
Give me that thing. You almost blew the last bow. No, give the bow. Was it you?
What are you talking about?
I think it was you. I watched
It was not me.
somebody a little bit ago. I'm like, oh, that bow's gonna blow up.
Yeah, I would never. $73. Okay.
73. 18 pounds hold weight.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect if it was my draw length.
Yeah. Not bad.
Valley
Little-
feels good.
Put a little adjustment in there. There's like no valley. I felt like.
I like that.
Yeah. I like that longer.
Get in there and tug.
Yeah.
I thought maybe like the release slipped out of your hand.
Oh, no.
That power stroke tuning. Like, oh, cut one loose early, huh? Little preemie. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I'll take that all day. All right, guys. We just finished getting the ARC 30 wrapped up here, dialed, and ready to go to Texas. So right now, 70-pound bow, 450 grain arrows, 28-inch draw is coming out at 292. So it's a shooter. Now I got to go get a sight tape, set it out the distance, and see how it does. So with that being said, guys, if you're looking for a new bow, if you want to come shoot the new bows, definitely come on down to Wilde Arrow, get your bows tuned. If you're looking for new bows, come shoot the new bows, and it's the best shop, I'd say, in the country, but at least here in Utah. So if you're local, come check it out. Definitely recommend them. Super appreciative of all the guys down here that helped put this bow together. I've been putting my bows together for ever since I started shooting archery, and just great dudes. So come check them out. Guys, there's the ARC 30. Time to get after it in Texas. Have a great Thanksgiving, and like I always say, get out, live your life, and love it.